Today's Leading Women episode 574 with the wonderful MARYSUSAN Gala.
Women all over the world, get ready for inspiring and empowering interviews from women at the top of their field who are kicking butt in their business and who are prepared to share shocking revelations from being in the limelight. You are now listening to Today's Leading Women with Marie Grace Berg.
Podcast your passion. Yes, did you know you can podcast your passion, make a difference, and make money talking about what you love talking about? That's how I get to do what I'm doing, talking to wonderful women every day here at Today's Leading Women. Want to learn how I do it? Go to podcastyourpassion.com. That's www.podcastyourpassion.com. Yes, women of the world, let's get started. I am delighted to introduce you our amazing guest for today, MARYSUSAN Gala. MARYSUSAN Gala is known as the Feminine Wisdom Genie. She is trained as a licensed massage therapist certified in integrative pelvic core therapy and sacred womb awakening. Susan is the creator of Your Sensual Glow, a program that helps ignite your feminine power to feel alive. Susan helps women find their truth, let go of painful memories, and step into their feminine power. Her work has evolved into a synergy of sacred soul healing so women can live whole, radiant, and feminine. To learn more and to get your free gift from Susan, visit www.todaysleadingwomen.com/Susan. That's www.todaysleadingwomen.com/Susan. Women of the world, Miss MARYSUSAN Gala. Welcome to the show.
Hello, and I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you, Marie Grace, for inviting me.
Thank you, and I'm so delighted to be chatting with you today, and I'm sure our listeners are as well. So, MARYSUSAN, I really love what you're doing with your business. You are a success in your own right. You put in the effort, the sweat equity, the knowledge, and experience to build a special business you call your own. As a result of that, our listeners really want to get to know you, and I want to provide that conduit, that bridge between you and our listeners. So here are some cool questions that we can talk about. Feel free to comment anytime about them, but these are just general questions I have in mind. So let's start with your business. There might be people out there who want to start one and have no clue how to go about it. Can you tell us more about your business and the idea behind that niche?
Sure. So the idea behind my whole business came through witnessing my clients and patients' body stories. So I've been, I've had a practice in massage therapy and holistic pelvic core therapy for many years. And I realized that what I was offering was not enough for them. Because although you could be hands-on body work, that feeling will disappear after a while. And they still have these emotional barriers that are stuck in their bodies for quite some time. And it's all because they don't reveal their story. So I realized with all the work that I've been offering is that I really needed to help women reveal their story, find their voice, so they could ignite and illuminate their feminine power. And how did I do that? I did it by revealing my own story. Because without revealing my own story, I don't think that I would see such success and radical change with my clients. So the whole transformation awakening process, a lot of my work is based from me voicing my truth of something that tragic happened to me 25 years ago. And I will say that, my life is really awesome now, but for a very, very long time, I lived in shame. I lived in isolation. I felt like I wore a mask. I felt like that. Maybe other people didn't feel that way, but I felt like that. My energy was depleted. And all these feelings were stuck in my body. All these emotions were stuck in my physical body, causing pain, causing chaos, causing a lot of pain, of course, in my sacred center, the sacral chakra and the root chakra, where a lot of this feminine energy is held. So one of my clients asked me one day, she says, "Why do you offer this type of work?" And I looked at her and I said, "Would you really like to know?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Because I was in the same place that you were in. I was attacked by 5 men in my loft in New York City. And when I look back at it, and when I started talking about it, I realized it wasn't so much of the attack, it was the emotional pain that disturbed my presence, because I never felt present again." And regardless of whether a woman was experienced a trauma, whatever that trauma was, and it doesn't need to be sexual, it doesn't need to be emotional, it could be a traumatic childbirth, it could be a loss of a child, a loss of a spouse, because grief is trauma. It could be cancer, because cancer is trauma to the body. It could be the experience of a hurricane and losing everything, the experience of a tornado. It could be environmental traumas. These are all interruptions to the physical body. And I realized there was so much more to my work that I had to really go deeper. And by going deeper, I've really helped a lot of women step into who they really are, because we hide this. We hide our feminine power when there's a disruption of energy because of something that wasn't caused by us. And with all of this, I realized there are 3 things that we hold back. We hold back our voice, we hold back our heart, and we close off our feminine center. So that's 3 chakras that are connected to all these feelings, all these emotional blockages in our body. Without our voice, we can't communicate. And I don't mean that they lose their voice or they have a sore throat. What I'm talking about is they decide not to talk. Or they decide, when they're asked by maybe their loved ones or their friends, "How are you doing today?" They always say, "I'm fine, I'm okay," when deep down inside, they're not okay. They're not okay. So physical imbalances in the throat can cause neck and shoulder pain and facial problems. They can also cause the emotional balances, which are issues of self-expression, because self-expression is through communication. So they have the fear of having no power or choice of what they're saying. But when the throat or the throat chakra is balanced, they'll have freedom of expressing themselves, and they become honest with their truth. And when this happens, they realize everyone is listening to them again. Everyone really cares who they are and what they're saying. And then I realized also it's the heart. We lose compassion. And that was the biggest thing that happened to me. When I said it's not so much the attack, it was really the loss of compassion I had for myself and for everybody else around me, because I felt like I didn't have a good support system. So the physical imbalances that can come up when you close off your heart can be issues with upper back, shoulder problems, but also they include asthma, heart disease, or issues with our breasts. The emotional imbalances of closing off our heart is feeling jealous or feeling abandoned or anger or bitterness or fear and loneliness. But when this is balanced, we live in joy and gratitude. We have so much love and compassion to offer, and we can freely offer our gifts again because we feel trusted. And then, of course, the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is where all our feminine wisdom lives. It's our inner knowing. It's the place of creativity, sensuality, passion. It's the place of birth and rebirth. It's our money center also. But our physical imbalances in this include problems with sexual issues or reproductive issues, urinary problems, but also hip, pelvic floor, psoas, and lower back problems. The imbalances, the emotional imbalances with this include, like, we have a hard time committing to a relationship, whether it's a relationship with ourselves or relationships with others. We have a hard time expressing our emotions. We have a really hard time having fun again. And we forgot what our desires and creativity and pleasure is all about. But when this chakra is balanced, we're more creative. We take risks. We feel committed. We're very passionate in everything that we do. And for that reason, my focus is on opening up these energetic pathways for women to free their voice and live fully expressed. Because I believe every woman should feel sensual, should live fully, should explore deeply, love wholeheartedly, so they can walk in their own feminine path and create what they want in their life and offer their gifts back into the world.
Wow, what a beautiful story that you just shared with us. I was so hooked into listening to every word that you shared, because your story and how you were able to transform yourself and now helping others transform themselves by helping them opening those sacred areas in our bodies so that they have that chance, or so they can feel that they are empowered to share their voice, and in turn, empower others as well. What an inspiring story that one is. Thanks for sharing that with us, because that one must really help, especially in understanding your body of work and how it relates to us as individuals. So great that you shared that one. Let's talk about some of your personal qualities. Share with us at least 3 of your personal traits that help you become successful at what you do.
I can say one of the biggest ones, and I was always like kind of shy about it, but I hear this all the time. I was at an event the other day, and I didn't know anybody at the event. I just went because I knew it was the right event for me to go and mingle with other women. And when I walked in the door, 3 women came up to me and said, "I want to know what you do because your energy is so empowering." So I could say that energetically, when you feel very, very alive in your body, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's the energy and vibration in your body illuminates out and magnifies everyone else around you. So with the energy, I would say I'm extremely creative. And I love what some of my clients say is, you're like a body architect. You could just look at a group of people and you kind of like have this inner knowing of what's going on. So it's the possibility of when you come to a place and you've did all the work and you did all the healing and you expressed the dark side and walked into the light side, everyone has this power available to them.
All right, so having the energy, feeling alive, and creativity. Great personal qualities here that Susan just shared with us. And the good news is that we can all cultivate and adapt them into our lives. So that's the beauty of sharing this, so that we can learn from each other and then apply and cultivate them into our business, into our lives in general. So thanks for sharing those. Now, I'd love for us to talk about what happened when you started your journey as an entrepreneur. You know, as entrepreneurs, we face daily challenges that define our being, and to get through those challenges takes a very special person, and our audience wants to know that special person in you. So what have been your biggest challenges building your business and doing your body of work, and how have you addressed or overcame those barriers to success that a lot of women entrepreneurs face today?
I think the biggest challenges is really knowing what your gifts are and what you offer and who really is your market. I know I'm saying women, but I particularly work with a very specific age group. And that takes time. There are a lot of challenges, and it's just going out and meeting people and talking to them and telling them your story and see if does it attract them, and ask questions. Do you know who else may be interested in my work? Do you know where else I could probably meet other women and network with? There are other ways to reach other women, and I find that Facebook has a lot of different women's groups. Again, you really have to know your market, so it's not so challenging for you. When you know your market, reach out to those women in the group, become part of their group, and engage in conversations. Like Marie Grace is, she's interviewing me. I've been interviewed on a lot of radio shows, and I've been invited to telesummits. Follow who's doing telesummits in whatever you offer. That is a great way to get exposure. Offer workshops or retreats. That's another fun way to get exposure. And I like to keep mine very intimate. I've also been a guest presenter at workshops in beautiful locations. So I've met a lot of women that way, and now they follow me. It takes consistency and being persistent. And when you find that one thing isn't working, try something else out. Try not to get stuck in it. Because I don't feel that everything works for everybody. Know what you're really good at and then go after that. Like, I know I really love working with small groups. I know I can work with women one-on-one, but if I'm going to work with women one-on-one, I would prefer, how about 3 women in the group? Because working with 3 women in a small group, there's more healing, there's more communication, there's more revealing, there's more witnessing.
All right, that is so huge lessons there in the challenges that you shared with us. I mean, knowing your target market and knowing how to reach your target market, where they are they hanging out, and being able to translate your work so that it speaks to their audience. I am sure a lot of us resonate with this. I'm sure a lot of our listeners also have experienced this, because especially for those who are just starting out, really knowing your target market and being able to reach them in the way where they are hanging out, so that you are able to spread your message and reach the right people that you want to work with. It's a challenge, and we all start with us. But the good thing is that when we're sharing our challenges and the lessons, like what Susan just shared with us, we learn from each other. So for our listeners out there, especially if you're just starting out, let's learn from how Susan was able to overcome these challenges, so that when they do happen to us, we now know what to do. All right, let's segue and talk about work-life balance because this is an area that a lot of our listeners and I myself struggle with on a daily basis. So tell us more about how you deal with work-life balance because maintaining a work-life balance is so crucial to overall success in life. Now, the challenge with entrepreneurs is how to click on and click off and create a work-life balance, particularly if you have a family juggling many roles. So in your life as an entrepreneur, how do you maintain this work-life balance and what are some of the ways that you accomplish this in the areas of your health, your family, your relationships, and your business?
Okay, so this is number one to me, work-life balance, because I'm all about moving. My body has to move. We were born to move. If we don't move, our body's going to be in pain. If we don't move, our energy, our blood flow, our circulation isn't going to spiral energy through our body like it's supposed to. So I'm going to tell you right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm actually standing. I'm not sitting. So I try to stand as much as I can if I am going to be in my office, if I have writing to do, even if I'm speaking to a client. I generally see all my clients by Skype. I stand. Every hour I get up, if I am, again, going to be in my office, I walk away from my desk and I exercise, I stretch. I do something. But my mornings always begin with a reflection, a meditation, sitting outside on my balcony, watching the sunrise, because I happen to see beautiful, magical sunrises every morning. It's important for me to stay very, very grounded to nature and Mother Earth because that's what women's bodies are connected to, the cycles of the moon and Mother Earth and her energy. So my focus is really being connected to that. And you said my family, is that what, my family, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any family near me where I live. So my sisters and brothers, I did have family come this weekend. I love entertaining. I will go and visit them a couple of times during the year, or they come and visit me a couple of times a year. But my friends, I'd love to entertain, and I love to cook. And at least once a month, I have friends over here. Or I have friends, my female friends over for like afternoon tea on a Sunday, or I'll have friends over on a Friday night and have like 8 or 10 over for dinner, which I love. My partner and I, we always make time for each other. Always. I decided that in the evenings, I do not look at the computer. I try not to look at the cell phone unless I do have a meeting with clients. On the weekends, the same thing. I shut down now. I try to close off all electronics, which is very, very important to me because I feel like it pulls my energy away from me. So all these things are embodied in my lifestyle. How can I feel better in my body, out of my body, and when I go out in public? These little snippets of exercising on a daily basis and stepping away from electronics and moving and being connected to nature make me feel really good. And I truly believe that if you take time out during your day just to even stretch, if you don't know how to exercise, that will make you feel good. So I'm not talking about like I'm going out and doing aerobics. There's certain things that I really like. I swim a lot. I practice yoga and Pilates.
Love those tips. Yeah, love those tips that you shared with us. And yes, it's really important to move our bodies, and especially for us who are working from home. I find that one out too. So I have to get a standing table that I can adjust so that I can be in standing position and alternate with sitting, because being on our computer for a long hours during the day. It's really hard on our back and in our body in general. So it's really important to move your body. If you can get a standing table that you can adjust so that you don't have to be sitting the whole time. And I am really big on what you said about beginning your day with a morning ritual, and that has been a theme here at today's Living Women. For our listeners out there, it's really important to create a routine for you. Create a morning ritual that you can follow on a daily basis, on a regular basis, even just 15, 20, 30 minutes during your first day of the day. Meditation, connecting to nature, doing yoga, doing your workout, something that nourishes you physically, emotionally, and mentally, because that would help set the tone for you during the day. It really grounds you. It really set the tone that, okay, but toward the whole day you're going to feel good. And I am a testimony of this, because after I've been doing my morning rituals for almost a couple of years now, I look forward to it. It became a habit now. But in the beginning, it is hard. I have to admit, it was really hard in the beginning. But everything starts that way. And it builds up. Your momentum builds up. It becomes a habit that is going to be like automatic for you. So unless you start it, you're not gonna go into that it becomes a habit. So it's all about starting today. Pick up these tips that Susan just shared with us. Apply it in your life. Start with just one morning ritual, for example, even just 7 minutes of quiet time for yourself. Start that way. And then build, and every week or every month, start a new one, or add a new routine for the rituals that you're using. I think that's so paramount for us to stay grounded, to stay fit, to feeling good about our body, feeling good about our mind, our emotions. So pick up some rituals that Susan just shared with us and apply them in your life. So thanks for sharing those.
Oh, you're welcome, because it's really about, I think sometimes we think that we just have this physical body, but no. When you want to be embodied in this physical body, we need to connect back to our spirituality and our emotions. Because that's mind, body, spirit is all three. They're all connected.
They truly are, and I truly believe in that mind-body connection, and that is the essence of your work. And that segues us to talk about what's exciting you coming up. I'd love for you to share with us and our listeners what's exciting about what your work coming up. And I know you have a program about that you want to share with us, and I would love to know more about it. So tell us more about it.
Yes. Yeah, so I am launching an online group program called Your Sensual Glow. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, is she going to talk about sex? Is that what she's talking about? I'm not. I'm talking about you feeling good in your body. That's what I'm talking about. How can you radiate your sensual glow to feel whole, feminine, and alive again? It's by expressing yourself. It's by connecting back deep inside of your body and knowing what has stopped you from moving forward. Knowing how you could stop the chaos or isolation or unhappiness and loneliness in your life. Knowing how you could stop feeling like you don't belong, even with your own family and friends, like there's something wrong with you. And it's connecting back to those energy centers that I was talking about, which is your throat, your heart, and your feminine center. The reason why this energy is so important, and I don't think most women know this, is for us to really connect and be fully expressed and be who we really are, is to embody the breath. And you may ask, well, we all breathe. We're all told to breathe. Well, the anatomy of our throat looks like the same anatomy of our vagina. When we feel like we're not facing our truth and revealing our truth and being who we really are and hiding because of shame, we close off that communication and that breath. When that breath is stagnant in these places, it closes off our heart. Because what happens is that when we do take a conscious breath, the respiratory muscle acts the way it's supposed to act and work holistically to open up the air passageways in our body and to communicate through these chakras. Most women don't know that. This is part of the work that I offer in the program. Also, part of the work that I offer in the program is being able to witness your stories, being able to help you reveal what's been holding you back and why it's been holding you back, so you could feel more at ease of who you are and fall in love with yourself again. Because it all starts with you. When you're not comfortable with who you are, it's very difficult to be comfortable with other people around you. And then step into that feminine power so you could be more creative in your life and offer more passion to the people around you. And I'm sorry you hear my dog behind me barking, but the dog wants attention. My little dog, every time I'm on the phone, he wants to know who's around me. So that's my little Papillon barking up a storm. So I do apologize for that. But when we're embodied and feeling who we are, we become unstoppable. And I always say, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. And what I mean by that, it doesn't matter what your age is. I believe you have the power to do it, and the energy is shifting right now, and now is the time to do it. Don't wait 20 years to reveal who you really are. You need to be who you are now.
Yeah, so this the Sensual Glow online program is basically helping you embody who you are as an individual, as a person. But tell us for who benefits the most for this from this program.
The women that benefit the most is I realize it's women in the 45 plus age group. And the reason why I say that is because those of us who experienced something painful in our lives, a tragedy, a trauma, at that time years ago, we were told to be quiet. Don't talk about it for fear of judgment, because our families didn't want anyone to know that something had happened to us. And also at that time, there weren't therapies that were available to help us heal. So that is the women that are attracted to my work. Those are the women that are attracted to my work.
Yes, and whether that be a physical trauma or emotional trauma in life, you will benefit well with this program. So what can they expect after going through this program? What can they expect? What kind of transformation, what kind of physical or emotional or kind of transformation that they can expect after going through this program with you?
They fall in love with themselves again. They fall in love with their partners again, or they're ready to find a partner again. They feel like they belong. There's no questions asked anymore with themselves in their own mind that, oh, I don't want to go to such and such a place because I'm uncomfortable. I don't feel right there. I don't feel like I belong. But there's a huge transformation in their being. And I have to honestly say it's amazing because when I look at these women, they really glow. They glow like something has been lifted from them. This deep-seated secret is finally revealed.
And who doesn't want to feel glowing? That is the ultimate feeling that I'm sure a lot of us wants to achieve. I mean, who doesn't want to start feeling in love with themselves, feeling in love with their partner, feeling like you belong, feeling you're glowing every day. Wow, what a great transformation that will be. What a great benefits that people will be getting after going through your program. So tell us more, where can they learn more about it if they they want to learn more about this program and they want to work with you, where can they go and get more information about it?
I'm having a webinar, which is tomorrow. They can also reach me at my email address, which is clientcare@susangala.com.
All right, so yes, so for our listeners out there, there's a webinar coming up tomorrow. You don't want to miss this. If you want to learn more about her body of work and this Your Sensual Glow online, how you can glow, I highly encourage you to go there now. Go to this link. It's www.todaysleadingwomen.com/Susan, SUSAN, and you will be taken to a form where you can register for her webinar so you can learn more about this program. And if this fits you and if there's something that you want to learn more about it and want to be on it, I highly encourage you to jump in. So go there now at www.todaysleadingwomen.com/Susan and register for the webinar. I'm sure Susan's gonna blow your mind with all the information so that you can take action and right away, and how you can work with her if you want to go deeper into this program she's offering. So the program's name is Your Sensual Glow, and it's happening online. So for our international audiences, who are listeners who are listening everywhere, this is going to be an online thing. You can attend via webinar wherever you are. That's a good thing with our technology nowadays. We are interconnected so well with the internet. So don't worry, you can attend via online. But it starts with the webinar tomorrow. To learn more about it, go to attend the webinar tomorrow. But register now with the link that I provided you, and I will make sure to have this on our show notes as well. So that's www.todaysleadingwomen.com/Susan. MARYSUSAN, thank you so much for being so generous in sharing your time, your inspiring story, your expertise, for being a role model to many, and for bringing such a positive energy with our listeners today. Women of the world, including me, appreciate you and wish you more success in business and in your life.
Thank you. I'm so honored, Marie Grace.
Thinking of starting a podcast? Seriously consider starting a podcast of your own, remembering that it will allow you to grow in ways you never imagined. It will grow your email list, your audience, your influence, and your bank account. Go to podcastprofitsystem.com to get started. That's www.podcastprofitsystem.com.
Feeling inspired and empowered to make it happen? Then take the next step and go get your free guide to the top 10 resources that today's leading women use to stay at the top of their game, plus Marie's favorite today. Visit todaysleadingwomen.com/guide for your free download, and we'll see you on the next episode of Today's Leading Women with Marie Grace Berg.